Hey guys, this is Frogz Master 595, and here's a video. And you know what video it is. It's talking about Season 2. Yes, we're going to talk about Season 2. There won't be 3 parts, only 2 parts. Doesn't need to be as much. So, yeah, let's talk about Season 2. The season that actually didn't have anything to do with King Pig at all. Which, obviously, I'm guessing everyone expected it to be about King Pig, and to just show what King Pig's gonna do now, and what he's gonna do to stop Honky, and, but it wasn't. It was not about King Pig at all. You barely saw him. You saw him at well, I won't say if you're not seeing it yet, so I'm just gonna stop what I'm saying, but I'll just say that Season 2, barely see him. Basically, he had no purpose in Season 2, I'll just say. Since you could probably tell, because for everyone that watched basically every episode, you've maybe not seen the last 2 or last few of them, but yeah, you could see that it was barely about King Pig at all. It went more with Honky Tonk, triggered a lot of adventure, but we did find out more things about Honky Tonk to make her more of a interesting character. She wanted to be a villain at first, but when she went to the Wishmaker, it was Wishmaker, not Dreammaker. Yeah, it isn't Dreammaker and Nightmare Maker, it's Wishmaker, and then it's Nightmare Maker. Even though Dream is the opposite of Nightmare, it's just like that. Make more sense, Wishmaker. But, because he grants wishes, and her wish was to be a villain, but that didn't work because he wasn't actually a Wishmaker. But then he wanted to be a Nightmare Maker because he found out that Honky, she just was good forever because of all the good energy in her that she just happened to have. That was just what she had in her. There was no reason as to why. She just happened to have it. Now, everyone else in her family, like her parents and her parents' parents, they didn't have any of the good energy, really. None of it. Just, they ended up being villains, but not Honky. Not Honky. So, after all that explaining, because I'm not going through everything, she ends up deciding to stay good, and then, then it goes back to Triggered and all that with her and Triggered, because remember that was a vision that she had. The Nightmare Maker made her have that vision. Obviously, because I don't think she could just randomly have that. So, I guess if it wasn't for the Nightmare Maker, if the Nightmare Maker had not done that, she wouldn't have even remembered her parents or anything like that. So, yeah, but we learned more about Honky, more of an interesting character. So, that's mainly it for about Honky, and I don't know why this is like this. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so Season 3, it'll talk more about some other characters, because Season 2, obviously, there was one character where there wasn't that much of a personality, maybe not personality, but not much about the character. There's a little bit of a personality, but let's talk about the other characters right now, the other main ones, because Honky, I think we pretty much know it now. She was determined when she was young. Obviously, she mentioned that. And, of course, when she got older, kind of acted more like Mo, worried a little bit, because obviously Mo was always worried about stuff. But Honky's basically kind of just like Mo, but kind of not. But because Mo didn't have any of that huge backstory. But let's talk about the other characters. Paco's there, but let's talk about him. Alright, so first we will talk about Triggered. So, Triggered, well, his voice has obviously changed a little bit, but it's not that hard to guess why it would. But Triggered was obviously the dumb one, and try to make him as funny as possible, or hopefully he was funny. I'm pretty sure I thought he was funny. And yeah, he's basically even more dumb than what he was in Season 1, to be honest. But, yeah, Triggered. Like doing his voice. It's always nice to do his voice. So, Triggered. He's not actually God of the Frogs, for anyone that still thought that. He mentioned that in Season 1, he's not. Obviously, that's just him kind of lying, joking. Kind of how what he was doing in Season 2, making Honky annoyed. Because he was Captain Triggered when they went on that basket, moving magical basket, going around to all the other places. So, meeting all the other new characters. So, Triggered basically just, again, the really dumb one. And the comedy one. Dumb comedy. Silly, doesn't really care much. Lazy. Lazy is actually something, yeah. Lazy. So, Triggered. And now, V2. So, now, I think you can tell that V2's not really one of the main characters for Season 2. In Season 1, he was there a little bit more. Maybe even a lot more, but definitely Season 2, we did not see V2 as much. He did appear in, I'd say he appeared, well, he did appear in, like, a lot of the, like, he appeared through, like, 61 to 66, but then he was gone for a while. So, no, he's not honestly a main character, but he's more of a main character than what we would say, like, these guys. He's probably just as main as, like, I'm Bad at Nationwide and all these other guys they met. But B2, yeah. He was kind of the one, again, he was basically worried a lot. It's just kind of like Honky Tonk. But B2 also, of course, he's worried about his son. So, unlike Honky Tonk, who's not always worried all the time, and was determined to find her parents, just like she was determined to become a villain when she was young. See, that was kept in there, because as soon as she found out, she wanted to leave and go find them. Determined. Isn't lazy like Triggered. But V2's basically always worried. But he did eventually come out of that shell of worriedness and said that they should just go at night. Which was a good idea, because, you know, Nightmare Maker wasn't even there at night. Of course, you saw him there at day in the next episodes later, after Honky and everyone else had went through the downstairs area, underground area, what they called it. But V2 finally broke out of that worriness shell, but, you know, still pretty worried character. But he's kind of brave also. He doesn't get scared that much, unless it's his son, of course. Or Honky. I guess worried is the same thing as scared, but he always believes that, you know, they'll get back. He was always thinking that in episodes like 76 and 77, 78, 79. I think those were the 4 episodes. But then we have Mini V2. Now, he's not had much of a character yet. He wasn't lazy, of course. More smart than Triggered. Helped explore around a lot so that Honky could rest. After all, Triggered's annoying stuff that he did. Annoying Honky. V2 at least would explore. You could say he's curious, yeah, obviously. But, maybe more curious than Honky. But, he also makes sure that Triggered's actually doing something. But he's not had much of an actual character yet. He'll have more, that's all I'll say. But, for Season 2, he was a main character. He's the curious one. But he's not had all of his character yet, so yeah, Mini V2. There'll be more on him later. Still counts as a main character, though, because he went with Honky and Triggered. Now, let's talk about Paco real quick. Now, I know he's not a main character. He only appeared in 1 episode, but You know what? I'll just include him for this because I have him here. You know, Paco was just had the crazy voice. You thought it'd be Foxy. That's what everyone probably thought. Oh, it's gonna be Foxy. Obviously, that's Foxy. Well, it was Paco because I wanted to make it different. Didn't want it to just be Foxy, so made it Paco. Fixed the basket. I like doing that episode. That episode was just Paco doing random things, trying to fix that basket. But Paco, again, not much of a character, but crazy voice. That's his character. Not that interesting, but he was still kind of funny. Alright, so Honky's parents. Now, obviously, no, they were not main characters. They only appeared for a little bit, but, well, as them being parents, they're worried. I mean, I think we've all kind of had that with parents, but maybe not. I don't know. I wouldn't know, but Honky's parents were worried. For Honky, especially when she was gonna become a villain. Her dad stuttered a lot. Yeah. So, I purposely did that, obviously. I obviously didn't keep stuttering just on him. Obviously, I made him stutter. You could tell. I'm pretty sure you would be able to tell. And then Honky's mom, not as worried, more proud. Obviously, I'm not saying that he wasn't proud. It's just, her dad more worried. Yeah, Honky's dad was more worried and stuttered. So basically, he was worried more. And, she wasn't as worried. She was more okay with what was going on, but not too much on them, because they're just Honky's parents. They don't really need too much of a personality, at least I'd say. I didn't think they really needed that much of one, so at least you can tell a bit of the difference between the two, so that's good. So, well, technically they were also Nightmare Maker's minions. Now, when these two were in their robot forms, which we saw them more in that, they really still didn't have, actually had less of character then, but I don't know if that really counts, because that's just them in their robot forms, so they're just robots. Robot, that's all you could really say. Is that they're robots there and they're going to act like robots, that's how it's going to be for them. So, I guess lastly, we'll talk about Nightmare Maker. The Nightmare Maker. Which is a Meta Knight plush, obviously, but Nightmare Maker. So, obviously, he was an imposter. He doesn't really know how to make people into villains. Of course, he did find out because he made these two evil robots, but he said the magic word, please. Now, something in Season 3 is that it will say what this whole magic word, please, came from, because obviously he didn't just think of it randomly. He knew something about this magic word, and he did not think of it. Comes from something else. But Nightmare Maker, he's different from King Pig. He's not as chill. He's more aware of what's going on. He enslaved. King Pig didn't. King Pig just wanted to get rid of everyone, basically. Because he didn't like Frogz because of the whole whip it thing. With the cut off ear, But, yeah, Nightmare Maker just not as chill. Got angry easily, as we saw in episode 89. And, well, he was just more aware. He worried more. And his AI was a little bit smarter. Not too much, a little bit more. And, of course, you found out the one last, most important thing about Red Yanmo. Obviously, they died. But, obviously, Nightmare Maker says something that we didn't know. And it's about Mo and Red Yaz, they died. Probably know what it is. But, in the next part, we will talk about the other characters. So, yeah, peace.